Gophers Coaches Corner.
What's up, everybody? Today we're hanging out with the women's head hockey coach, Brad Frost. Brad, first, thanks so much for doing this with us. We appreciate it.
Pleasure.
I think my first question was, how does a guy from Ontario end up at a small school like Bethel University?
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy story. First and foremost, my mother grew up in Wayzata, so a lot of family here in Minnesota. I'm a dual citizen because of my mom. My dad's Canadian, and my dad went to Bethel College, met my mom, they got married and moved back to Canada. So that's where I grew up, and then knew that I wanted to play hockey for a Christian college, and Bethel seemed like the perfect fit.
Along the way, has there been a mentor or a coach that really stood out to you that you wanted to implement a program that you were going to run someday?
Yeah, it's interesting. My coach at Bethel College was Peter Ross, and a longtime coach, high school coach, and at Bethel. And he was just somebody that did things the right way. He really cared about his players, knew the game of hockey, but more importantly, he really cared about our lives outside of hockey. And that he was certainly somebody that I wanted to emulate.
How have you implemented kind of some of the things you learned from him into your own program?
And my first couple of years actually was really all about winning national championships. As an assistant, I was fortunate to be a part of a couple with Laura Halderson, and so I felt like there was, quite frankly, a lot of pressure when I became the head coach to win. And really my philosophy was quite skewed at that time because I was focusing just on national championships, the outcome, and winning, and we'd come to the end of the year, get to the Frozen Four, and I could still tell that our players and parents were disappointed in the year, and I was asking them why, and they said, well, we didn't win the national championship. And at that point, I started to realize, okay, there's got to be way more to their experience than just winning their last game. I ended up hiring a good buddy of mine, Joel Johnson, who's our associate head coach now, and started telling him about how things were going. And he said, well, I think at this point we need to, our players' experience needs to be based on different things. And so that's when we came up with our 4 values of being tough, grateful, disciplined, and devoted. And they're different to each player, on the ice, off the ice. We want to make sure that as a staff we're trying to live those out each and every day as well. But those are the pillars of our program. And then our players understand those. They understand that they're a little unique in their own right with each of them, and how those look on a game day or at practice or in the classroom or out on a Saturday night.
Would you say that the girls are really buying into that?
Yeah, I think they have. Back in about 2011 or so, it was really when we started introducing these things, and they really started to get some buy-in from our players. And that's when culture changes, right? When the first year we actually had those values up on the wall. And we never talked about them, but I couldn't understand why the culture wasn't changing. And then we realized, well, if we're not living those out every day and we're not encouraging our players to understand them fully and how they can live those out, then nothing changes. But in about 2011, that's when things started to change, and it's been a great run ever since.
What is your relationship like with the other head coaches? Do you guys kind of bounce ideas off each other, or is there one that you're closest to?
Yeah, a little bit. Hugh McCutcheon is somebody that I talk to quite a bit. Bob Motzko a little bit. Justin Smith, who I mentioned earlier, and it's fun being a part of this group because the coaches here are really, really successful. Mark Coyle's done a great job of hiring some great coaches, and their philosophies are similar to maybe what mine are and our staff's, and so that's a big deal when you can surround yourself with people who are pretty like-minded and bounce ideas off of, and them bouncing ideas off of you as well.
That's awesome. You also got the opportunity to coach some really great players. What is it like coaching girls with that kind of talent?
Well, it's what you want. It's certainly the better players that you recruit and get on your team, the better coach you are. And Gigi, Hannah, Brandt, Lee Steckline, Amanda Kessel, Kelly Panic. I mean, the list goes on and on. Those are just the Olympians. But then we've had some great All-Americans and such too. So it's just a great opportunity to try and help them further their hockey careers, but more importantly, try and develop them into the best people that they can become, and so that they can have a real successful life when they get out of here.
Well, Coach, that's awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks so much.